Finally, Nintendo just came out with the news that The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild's sequel is now expected to come out in the spring of next year. Developers of which said in a video, and I quote, "In order to make this game's experience something special, the entire development team is now working on it diligently." Anyway, check this out.
こんにちは。ゼルダの伝説シリーズプロデューサーの青沼です。ゼルダの伝説ブレスオブザワイルド続編の発売時期に関してお知らせがあります。本作は2022年に発売を予定しているとお伝えしていましたが、開発にもう少しお時間をいただきたく、発売を2023年春に変更させていただきたいと思います。楽しみにお待ちいただいている皆様、大変申し訳ありません。続編の舞台は前作ブレスオブザワイルドでの地上フィールドだけでなく、空の上にも広がると前回お伝えしましたが、拡張された世界はそれだけではなく、そこで皆さんを待ち受ける新たな出会いや新たな遊びも前作以上に多彩なものとなっています。
Sega just revealed their plans on the MMO hit that actually dare to say most folks are waiting to hear more about since last year, Phantasy Star Online 2 New Genesis. Here's the thing, they said a major update will release on April 6th and a Nintendo Switch cloud version of the game, and not in Japan but in the West, will eventually come to life in the following months. Check it out in case you are unfamiliar with this game, and if you should know, it's already passed 10 million online users to date. Take a look.
This time.
Guys, Metroid Prime 4 is at the moment the most awaited Nintendo Switch exclusive in the making, and I think it dates back to almost 7 years ago, well if not 6. Well, in case you were aware, this game was actually expected to come out around holidays this year, but well, now due to a few changes in development plans, it got pushed back. Right now, there's very little information on this game other than it might be a first-person shooter and an open-world game as well. Moving on. We have Yokai Watch 4 that was originally launched for the Nintendo Switch in Japan 3 years ago. Funny enough, it's now one of the most popular games in Japan's market and still stuck there as well. Now this might come to you as a surprise, but basically the lack of attention to this game in the West is the sole reason we haven't received the Western version of it to date. But with that said, there's still rumors that it'll eventually make its way here. So in the meantime, all we gotta do is to just wait. Let's move on. At number 5, it's Anima Song of the Abyss. The latest game in a series of action RPGs that date back to almost 7 years ago. About 2 years ago, folks behind this series came up with the announcement of this game and eventually said that they will deliver as soon as it is possible. For those of you wondering, this game is actually still alive and kicking, on its way to all consoles and PCs, and eventually due out either late 2022 or up early next year.
Then we know what we have to do.
Oh, yeah! You're with me. We're getting aboard that ship. I knew you would return one day.
It has been too long, Master.
Coming up next, well obviously it's got to be Overwatch 2. Simply one of the most anticipated games in the making. That's already been delayed multiple times. Well, it is now finally almost though here. Well, how come you might ask? It'll be available from April 26th through a closed beta, which you can still sign up for right now. Anyway, the new game, if you should know, comes with a bit of a change in formula in terms of team count, the heroes themselves, and the maps as well. Check it out in case you missed it.
Watching your back.
Now that's teamwork.
Time to learn some new tricks. Hey, chill out.
Hammer strike!
Up next, it's Digimon Survive, a game first announced in July 2018 with a release date of 2019, which, well, in case you didn't know, it is still about to happen. Well, guess what? Earlier this month, Bandai Namco actually released a brand new teaser trailer for this game and said this upcoming turn-based RPG exploration game will eventually launch in 2022 late, and it'll be coming to all consoles in addition to PCs. Check it out. Inazuma 11 Great Road of Heroes is currently under development for the Nintendo Switch, other consoles as well. There's words that the team behind the game mentioned earlier that the development of this game actually continues to next year, and considering, well, they had a difficult development process, I'm guessing mid to late 2023. Check it out, this game at its core, in case you're wondering, is an RPG sports. There's more. have Hollow Knight Silksong, which was announced only 400 years ago, probably the longest awaited game in this list as well, and one with a countless amount of false updates ever since it was revealed. Well, here is another one. This game is now rumored to come out this year, possibly in about a few months from now, and it'll be coming to PCs and the Nintendo Switch as well. Check it out.
上课。
Is a marvel no living man has ever seen. Only the dagger can unlock the sands of time.
Alright guys, this has been a long time coming, but finally, according to more than a few leaks, Ubisoft is now working on an unannounced Prince of Persia game, and they're finally gonna bring the Sands of Time remake over to the Nintendo Switch as well. Well, here's the thing, however, there is no official launch date for any of these, only rumors that the new game will be released next year, and then also the Sands of Time in about a few months from now. Take a look.
Give me the dagger! Never!
I brought this on us.
You are brave and good.
Don't let go!
Quaco Lucian.
Alright, Fear Effects reinvented as of this moment doesn't have a release date nor a window still. Even though it's been in development since 2018 as a horror adventure game that originally dates back to more than 20 years ago. However, this time around with improved graphics and a better control, so to speak. Check it out for those of you who actually been waiting. This game is still in development apparently, and word has it we're getting more on that later this year. Moving on. So as in the case of League of Legends, Wild Rift, which is available now on mobile devices, we know it's still being developed steadily and eventually making its way to all consoles at the same time, possibly even sometime later this year. Those of you new, however, Wild Rift is basically a free-to-play 5-on-5 MOBA, just like the original game, and just to accompany this update, once again they also came out with a patch, new trailer, but only for mobile devices, so make sure to stay tuned for a console announcement in the following months. Chained Echoes, a 16-bit Super Nintendo-style RPG set in a world, as you can probably tell in a minute, where dragons are as common as anything else. You could easily tell that this game has got all the correct elements of a classic RPG and one with modern gameplays and twists as well. Chained Echoes is now set to release on PCs, Switch, and the PlayStation consoles without a specific release date, but we're hearing by the end of 2022. In case you're wondering, it's also gathered twice its initial goal on Kickstarter, and it's in great shape.
Oh, look! It's our favorite sniveling Blithen! We've been waiting ages to beat you up!
On the other hand, we have Convergence, a League of Legends story. Well, an action platformer, which has been a while since we've heard anything about it. However, Riot Forge will just announce that we're getting a final release date for this game very soon, and that when Convergence, a League of Legends story, launches later this year, it'll be available for PCs and basically every single console as well, including Switch. Check it out.
Double-selling games typically have a lot of combat and have a beautiful 2D art style. And Speed Brawl is our latest game. Riot essentially told us, we have a bunch of champions, which one do you want to work with? And we settled on Echo, we settled on Zahn. Speed Brawl is a lot about focusing on the combat, but in Convergence, you're exploring, you're discovering. We focus way more on the action platforming part of it.
Going back to pixel art games that we've actually been waiting for a while now, we have The Last Faith, exploration-based Metroidvania, and one with a dark and gothic theme at its core. Well, here's the thing. Last Faith is set to be released on Steam, the Nintendo Switch, PlayStation 4 and Xbox One only. It has already gathered 4 times its initial goal on Kickstarter and set to be coming out early next year, if not late 2022. Check it out. We have, on the other hand, Made in Abyss, a series of games from almost 5 years ago, based on a manga, and actually one of the most popular animes, well, since release. Anyway, about 6 months ago, Spike Chunsoft went on to reveal a video game adaptation of Made in Abyss, and said it'll eventually land on all platforms, and that at its core is going to be an action RPG. In case you are new to, then here's how it looks like.
I never trusted that sausage-chewing motherfucker anyhow.
And last but not least, it's the one and only Kingpin Reloaded. A remastered version of the old first-person shooter Kingpin from more than 20 years ago was definitely one of the weirdest, so to speak, unforgettable shooters of its time, and literally right now one of the longest awaited 3D Realms games in the making. However, this game's got even pushed back to a later date. Hopefully it'll eventually come out in about a month or two from now. Check it out.